Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As you hopefully know by now, my name is James Tierney of Tierney Education. And I want to go over something that I see a lot of my students struggling with in their basic economics class. And that is what happens when we have a double shift of supply and demand. The assumptions I'm going to make during this video are that you understand how to set up a basic supply and demand graph and understand where the equilibrium are. I also am going to assume that you understand what makes supply and demand shift either right or left. If you're still a little fuzzy on those types of questions, then make sure you go and look up another video on that. But for now, that's where I'm going to assume your base knowledge is. And this video is going to talk about what happens when we don't just see supply increase or demand decrease, or just one shift at a time. What happens when we see a double shift, when we see two shifts at the same time? We see both supply and demand change. And to start off, let's look at when we just see one change and what happens to both price and quantity. We'll start over here on the top left, and let's see about demand increasing, which we know demand increasing is a shift to the right of demand. So remember, increase is always to the right. What do we notice? We notice that quantity increases. I'm going to put a plus sign here. And we know that price increases, which is a plus sign here. This should be intuitive. If there's more demand for something, there's going to be more quantity out there and the price is going to rise. What about if demand decreases? Well, remember, a decrease is always a shift to the left. Decrease is shift to the left. What do we have here? Our new equilibrium point. We're going to see quantity decrease and the price decrease. What we see is the direction here, price and quantity, are going to be opposite, whether or not it's demand increase or decrease. What about on the supply side? Well, on the supply side, again, increase we know is to the right. So supply increasing is supply to the right. And we notice that we've got quantity increasing and price decreasing. So we have price decreasing and quantity increasing. Again, this should make sense. If I put more items into a market, that's going to increase the amount of items in the market, but also lower the price, right? There's going to be a lot more of something that's going to push the price down. Decrease, again, decrease is always a shift to the left. So here's my shift to the left. And what do we notice on this case? We see the price is increasing and the quantity is decreasing. So again, supply increase versus supply decrease, we see the opposite changes. Price goes down versus price goes up, quantity goes up versus quantity goes down. Now that we know what happens to each one of these shifters separately with a single shift, we can now put them together and see the best way that we can analyze when there's a double shift. So how can we solve this double shift problem without even using a graph? Well, we take our information that we already have from knowing the single shifters of demand or supply increasing or decreasing, and we put them together. So as a recap, notice over here, what happens when demand increases? Quantity up, price up. What about demand decreasing? Quantity down, price down. What about supply increasing? Quantity up, price down. And what about supply decreasing? Quantity down and price up. So let's put them together. What if I have demand increasing and supply increasing? Demand increasing and supply increasing. So with demand increasing, I have quantity going up and price going up. For supply increasing, I have quantity going up and price going down. So what does this tell me? This tells me that overall quantity is definitely going up, because it's going up with demand and with supply. But with price, it's going up with demand and down with price. So this tells me my price level, I'm unsure what's going to happen. It depends on which one of these shifters is larger. It depends on the magnitude. But if that information is not given, this is where you see that answer that says it is undetermined. We are unsure of what happens to price if the demand goes up and the supply goes up. The theory behind this is that if I'm demanding more of something, that's going to push the price up. But if there's a bunch of people supplying more of something, that's going to push the price down. up and down, so it's unsure. Let's do this for the rest of them. What about demand going down? That's quantity is going to decrease and the price is going to decrease. And supply going up. Supply going up, we know quantity is going to increase and price is going to decrease. We do the same thing here. Well, the quantities are in the opposite direction, so that's what's going to be unknown. And the price is in the same direction, so I know that the price is going to be going down. Let's do this 2 more times to make sure that we have it set. Demand going up is quantity going up and price going up. Supply going down is quantity going down and price going up. That one's down here. And so we know that overall quantity is unknown and the price, since it's moving in the same direction, so demand going up and supply going down are both pushing prices up, is going to make sure that my price has a positive effect. It's going to be increasing if this is your double shift. Down here, demand down is quantity down, price down. Supply down is quantity down, but price up. So one last time, same direction, so quantity's definitely going down. Opposite direction, so this means my price is unknown. So this is how you can solve a double shift problem without using a graph. Let's go ahead next and do it with a graph for each one of these options. For the last part of the video, let's do the same thing. Let's analyze double shifts, but now with graphs. So we'll start again up here where we have demand and supply both increasing. And if you remember from the graphing part of the video, that means a shift to the right. So let's shift both of these to the right. And my tip for you is going to be to shift them at approximately the exact same amount, so the same magnitude. So I'm going to increase demand by shifting it to the right here. I'm going to increase supply by shifting it to the right here and find my new equilibrium point. And what I notice is quantity definitely increases. Quantity definitely increases. However, price, if I go back over to price, you see it could have increased, it could have decreased, we're not really too sure. That's how we know that's the one that we are uncertain of. We do the same thing for each one of these. Demand increasing, again, we know that's to the right. So we'll shift that one to the right. And supply decreasing, that one's to the left. Again, I'm going to try and make it the exact same amount, shifting it to the left. The new equilibrium point clearly shows an increase in price, but we're unknown with the quantity. Again, do the same thing, each one of these, so that way you get practice, that way you can make sure you get this correct on your next quiz or exam. Demand going down is a decrease, so it's a shift to the left. And supply going up is a increase, so that's a shift to the right. Again, trying to make it approximately the same size. We can notice this is my new equilibrium. Well, what's this telling me? This is telling me price for sure is declining, but quantity, right? Quantity from here, we're really unknown. Last one, demand decreasing is a shift to the left. Supply decreasing is a shift to the left. Left and left. Remember, decrease is to the left. Don't say up or down. What do we know with our new equilibrium point? Quantity for sure is declining. We see this definitely going down. Price, again, we're not sure. It depends on which one shifts by more. So this is going to be your question mark. So either way you want to do this type of problem, you want to do it with just looking at how things are increasing or decreasing for a single shift and then combining them, or you want to graph them both out, you can solve this question. Again, remember, when there is a double shift, if you don't know the magnitude, one of them is going to be known, but always one of them is going to be uncertain. I hope this explainer video helped you out with your econ class. Make sure you give us a subscribe and a like, and if you're looking for one-on-one tutoring, head on over to tierney education.com and set up your free consultation.